beautiful people, and Rusty. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. So, as you will have seen from the last couple of days with the Advent calendar, I decided I would try and stay down here today to bring you a tour of the garden at the beginning of December. So I think today is actually the 2nd of December, but you're not going to see this on the 2nd, because on the 2nd you'll have an Advent calendar. Yes, so crikey, it got cold. The sun's gone in, we've got a lot of cloud cover again. It's dry, it's great, but my goodness, when the sun goes in, the temperature doesn't half drop. So for the last half an hour, pretty much all I've done is sit in this shed, cuddling various cats. They've all been for a visit, but this one tends to linger, don't you, buddy? So yes, let's go and see how the garden is doing at the beginning of December, bearing in mind I have neglected it terribly for the last 3 weeks, apart from that bit of tidy up you will have seen the other day, which didn't go brilliantly because of my knee and my strimmer battery ran out. Oh, just a word on that very quickly. There are some areas that I still need to strim. When I did the strim the other day, I've not done it very short, because the grass has got so long again and it's still quite wet. So I'd rather do just a slight strim, give it a few more days of drying out, recharge my battery, both my battery and the strimmer battery, come back and do it again. Plus the path on the far side didn't get done at all, so that needs doing, and the area outside the shed needs doing. My chair, when I sit in it, my bum is being tickled by the long grass. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go and see what the garden is up to at the beginning of December. Oh goodness, it is chilly once the sun goes in. So here we are at the top of the garden, and this is a great opportunity for me as well to remember all the little jobs for winter. One of them is to redo the pole for my sign. I mean, look at the angle. You see it next to the pole. It's ridiculous. The tree lily is gradually dying back. Once that's died back completely, I am going to have a go at lifting and dividing it. The poached eggplants, they've gone a bit mad. This is a path they've taken over, so I'm going to actually cut a clump out and put it in a tray to give to Paul. Look at these dill flowers, they're so pretty still, aren't they? The dill and the verbena. It's all, you know, everything's pretty much gone over. Although, having said that, you see the wee calendula, they're all still putting a little bit of an effort on. No change with any of the covered beds. Actually, there's not much change full stop. The curly kale is still going really well for me. Oh, I missed this collie. I'm so cross with myself. Completely missed it. Look at the state of it. So what I'll do is I'll get that head out. I might leave the plant in though, to see if I can get some more nice leaves from it. The leaves on this one are gorgeous. I've had a few. Oh! Oh my goodness. How had I not seen that until now? Oh, that's a very pleasing sight. You're coming home for supper. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've caught that just at the right time. Phew. Brilliant. Can someone remind me to harvest that before we go home? Still a few bits of tidying jobs to do. So the calendula, I will now cut off all these completely gone over seed heads. You can never have too much calendula seed. Get those all cut off and cut back, but any that are still green I'll leave them in because they are still flowering. And let's face it, it is lovely to have this kind of colour in the garden at this time of year still, isn't it? I'm definitely leaving the parsnips alone for now. See if they'll fatten up. Oh, that was such a disappointment the other day. They tasted great, just a bit small. The completely random, I don't know what they are, leftovers of brassicas are, well, they're tiddly, they're all right. Oh my goodness. I think that one was trying to be a broccoli. Oh, that's pathetic. Never mind, the others may come to something. I need to have a bit of a tidy up with, this is the Perpetual Spinach, both the spinach and the chard, rather like I do with the brassicas. Just get rid of all the leaves that are sort of dying back. I don't want the plant having to think about doing anything with its dying leaves. Oh yes, and that's a nice one. Going to have a couple of beetroot away soon to try a new recipe I've never tried. The purple sprouting broccoli all look great, but here's an odd thing. Actually, let me come. I'm being really, really careful how I'm stepping and moving today because it's muddy and slippy, and I don't want to damage my knees anymore. So, all my lovely purple sprouting broccoli. Doing great, doing great, doing great. And then we get to this one, also doing great, but it's really, the ribs are really purple, whereas the rest are white. Well, pale green. So I don't know what this interloper is. I think, if I remember correctly, this row on the front were the ones Paul gave to me. And then, the ones on the back, these are the ones that I started. Even so, that's a bit of an oddball, that purple one. Well, we'll see what happens. I've whipped one of the covers off the garlic, so you can see it clearly today. It's all looking fine. Absolutely fine. Obviously they're little tiddly things at the moment. Of course they are. They've got months and months of growing to do. Pleasing sight though, isn't it? Lovely colour. Yes, so I'm sure I mentioned this way back at the beginning of November, but I'll leave the covers on for now. Not for any sort of frost protection, purely for protection against pelting rain until I get these beds mulched, which I intend to do. Well, I intended to do it today. It was one of today's jobs, but yeah, well, as you know, I'm giving up today. There's no point in killing myself. Oh, I love that sight. So, what else have we got? Okay, we've got celery, that's still going. Great guns. Yum, 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 yum. Now, this amazes me. Look at all the fennel. It's still looking really, really well. And actually, they're still growing. They're fattening up. This is bonkers. I've always thought of fennel as being, a summer veg. Summer / very, very early autumn to have the last out. But I'm just going to try and get right in here to show you. You see, there's a new sprout coming there. So they're growing and fattening. I mean, for instance, this one, let's come around this way. That was like a marker pen. I was going to say slightly bigger than a pencil, more like a marker pen. Now, it looks like a pack of felt tips. I'm amazed at those. And seeing these just reminds me as well, I still have the little winter hardy Mont Blanc seedlings to collect from our mark in the next few days, and I'm going to put them in here. Crazy. Lovely, but crazy. Okay, so my very late Brassica seedlings that went in, that's the cabbages, and yeah, they're all a bit tiny, never mind. And then in the front bed, that was all calabrese. Oh, they've been pecked to smithereens. I might have to try and think about covering them. Let me bring you around. Look, pecked. Excuse me. I've not had this issue before, but yeah, I think I need to think about some way to get them covered. Cavallo Nero still going great guns. I've had quite a few harvests already. Yum, yum, yum. And This is what I want to show you. The little smattering of carrots. Look at that one. Look, I actually might have some carrots to harvest. That doesn't look a bad size compared to, you know, with the thickness of my finger. Woohoo! All 6 carrots. Oh, I shall make... Oh, I don't know. I was thinking, what shall I make with them? I need to make something special. But I should probably do my fasolada with them, because they will be gorgeous in there. Beautiful. So, yeah, Cavolinaro's still going. Great guns. Although, look at this one on the end compared with this one. More peckage. Well, seeing as I've got the frames up already, I might just chuck some Enviromesh over, but I really don't want to because I want to see my veggies. I'll have a think about it. Yeah, that's one to think about. But this is what I'm excited to show you coming around. Yes, I still need, that's the very last bed to crop and drop and cover. I was mentioning this the other day, I'll just show you so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, wobbly legs. It isn't completely bare to the elements. There's been a bit of cardboard on. There's still the bits and bobs of nasturtium, so I haven't been too worried about it, but I definitely do want to get that prepped for winter. Just like it's winter already, Vivi. Your prep's a bit late, but this is what I want to show you. This tunnel is empty. It's going to have the deck broad beans in it. But look at these beauties. Oh my goodness. Isn't that a beautiful sight? I think it's 100% germination. I did think I'd lost one. Let me show you, where is it? A ways along here. But I just think, I don't know whether that's some sort of late germination, poor germination, I'm not sure. But, yeah, great stuff. Again, the covers are off just temporarily so I could show them to you. It's basically, I need to go and rake a load of leaves up, get them trimmed down to use as a mulch. I may put the nets back on the broad beans, because they won't like a hard frost. They're okay with a bit of frost, maybe 1 or 2 nights, but not for too long and not for too many days. Beautiful plants, absolutely gorgeous, healthy, green, vibrant. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy after last year's disaster. Good stuff. No change here. This is another of my jobs. I've had a rethink. I am taking this rhubarb out and putting a bowl of some sort, pond of some sort in there. But that rhubarb is going to go to a friend because I'm going to do something different where I was going to put it. But yes, everything is very quiet in this bed now. Top for winter. Hopefully though, it won't feel like too long before we see bursts of action from all the spring bulbs. Yes, more cardboard for that last bed. I still would like to, I didn't do it in November, and I would like to give this the sage and the rosemary, another proper pruning for sort of shaping as much as anything after the hacking it had for harvest. And this wee Taunton Dean looks perfectly happy in there. And then this gorgeous Lavender Mist, it's so vibrant, isn't it? I mean, really, this is not a colour you expect in December, is it? But it's lovely. Okay, so coming round the back end, I've got a bit of compost in there. That's going to go on the rose bush bed. A bit of cosmos to chop up. Now you can see that's my rhubarb crown in there. It's completely died back now. I was going to put the other in there, but what I've decided, I want to put some flowers in here because I don't have a garden. And although, you know, this is an allotment, essentially it's about growing food, and I do interplant, you know, there's calendula, nasturtium everywhere. I want to have a few other bits and pieces, like I like Rudbeckia, echinacea. So yeah, I'm not going to put the rhubarb here, I'm going to put some flowers in, and I've already got one division from a friend to go in. More of that on another day. The blueberries lost all their leaves while I was away. But this is amazing. I wonder if the camera will be able to pick up. Can you see? Look at these little buds forming already. All this new life waiting to burst forth. And the colour of the stems, it's gorgeous. Beautiful. So it looks like where there's a little tiny bits of sort of dead wood like this, I'll cut those out. I need to revise the pruning. I looked it up, last spring, and promptly forgot. Of course, you saw these the other day, or you might not have seen them very clearly because of the sun, but gorgeous, all the cell-sown broad beans. And as I was mentioning, I think they all look big enough. I haven't checked roots. Shall we see if we can see some roots? Let's have a look together. You can see, I can't. Are there any roots? Oh yes, a little bit of root showing. Good. So I think that can be a job either this week or into next week. Get them all out of their cells. I can't remember now. I think there was 60 and 7 didn't germinate, so that's 53. I can't remember exactly. Let's call it 50. But these 50 will then go into, wobble wobble, into 2 rows in this tunnel. So I can't remember how many I've got in this row actually. Let's have a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 is 36. Another 36, so I'm going to have 72 plants. Great. So if I could only get 36 in here, that means I'm going to have 14 or more spare. Brilliant. I can give those away, or find somewhere else in the garden for them. More likely give them away. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, the deck, yes, definitely, but it was weird because I'd done the tidy up on that last day before I sort of left the garden for 3 weeks. So it was like, I came back today, I was like, oh my goodness, it looks so bare. And of course, there were no signs of the freesias. Silly girl. I came straight to look at them as if there would be anything. One of my next jobs as well is the path between me and my neighbour. You can see there's a bit of grass growing up. All of this metal stuff, it doesn't belong to either of us, so I'm going to get this all out. This big scaff plank in here, that's going to go to Sheena. We've had a delivery of wood chips, so I'm going to re-wood chip it. All the brambles need cutting back. So that's a good morning's job to keep me warm one morning. I think these canes were all set aside because they're a bit brittle, the ones on the floor, so they can come up into the basket by the shed, just for jobs where they don't need to do a lot of supporting but rather marking. Oh, I'm looking forward to doing that job. I do like a good tidy job and a bit of a before and after. Get that grass out, yay. So obviously it's a bit quick today because it's that time of year, isn't it? It's the 1st of December. Does that look like a winter garden? Yes, it does rather, doesn't it? But what I love, just looking at it now, is there's still life, you know, the grass piles are giving us gorgeous green at the moment. all the different brassicas and chard and bits and bobs. Yeah, there's definitely life here still. And every now and again you see how the sun is catching just over there on my neighbour's hedge. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, the sun's properly coming out now. So yes, that is a garden at the beginning of winter. Not looking too bad, I think. With a few nice jobs to get on with, nothing urgent, everything just very pleasant, and opportunities to make the most of some outside time. Gorgeous. So on that note, I'm going to say cheerio to all of you. I hope if you have a garden that goes throughout winter, I hope you're able to enjoy it. If you have a garden that's already under a load of snow, well, I hope you can enjoy spending some time with me in mine over the coming few weeks. I just want to drink this all in before I go back indoors. Cheerio, everybody. See you soon for another window opening on the calendar.